Hi, this is Peter Fedorenko. I'm a runner-up in the 2011 Scriptapalooza contest with my script called The Dark Reaches. It's a horror thriller story that has to do with Herman Mudgett, whose alias was Henry Howard Holmes, and he was America's first documented mass murderer, and takes place against the backdrop of the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. It's also about the man who was pursuing Holmes, whose name was Frank Geyer. He was a Pinkerton's agent who stumbled upon Holmes almost by accident. He was pursuing him for an insurance fraud case. The script was written not too long ago, and it was a subject that I've been interested in since I was a child, really. The first time that I read about Holmes. And being from Chicago, it made it even a little bit more interesting, because that neighborhood on the south side of Chicago is actually where my family was from. For all I know, my grandmother or my great-grandmother could have been in Holmes's pharmacy, which is probably unlikely, because it was pretty much a given that if you walked into his place, you probably wouldn't walk out again. The script really didn't take me a terribly long time to write. I think I wrote it from front to back in about a month. I did not do any changes to it, but I did flesh out a fairly elaborate treatment before I started, which is something that I would absolutely recommend any aspiring screenwriter to do, is have something to work from. Not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to have every single point in there and beat or whatever you want to call them, but it is good to at least have an outline to work from, so you have something to give you a few signposts along the way. My style is a little bit unorthodox. I don't write the way most screenwriters do. It's a little bit difficult to explain. Usually, if I have a title, if I can come up with a title, I can sometimes just build an entire screenplay around a title. I've written very many of them, so it's always something different. I would offer, if I could give any kind of advice at all to a young or old, for that matter, whoever wants to write a screenplay, I would say the most important thing is to make sure that you're writing it for yourself, because it's something that you feel strongly about. Don't write for the outcome, thinking, oh, I'm going to write this screenplay and sell it for $1 million. I mean, not that doesn't happen, because it does, but there's very little chance of that happening unless you're an absolute genius, and there aren't a lot of them, unfortunately. Some, but not too many. So I would say that would be my biggest bit of advice, is to make sure that you're doing it for yourself, because, again, something that you feel strongly about and something that you want to share, not just because it seems like something that would be a good idea, or some kind of movie that there's a lot of other ones going on just like it at the same time. That usually doesn't work, because by the time you're done, they've moved on to the next fad. And just write it true. And don't be afraid, to put your feelings on the paper. You have to drip some blood on the paper. But, if you do that, you have a chance of coming up with something that might be terrific. So anyway, that's really all I have to say. I want to thank Mark very much and everybody at Scriptapalooza. I kind of entered the contest just on a lark, not really expecting anything much from it, and then I actually just kind of forgot about it until I got an email that I was I think it was a quarter finalist and a semi-finalist and a finalist, and then whatever. Anyway, thanks again, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the wonderful gift that you sent me, the screenwriting software. It's very interesting, and I say good night and good luck. It's my little Edward R. Murrow closing there. All right, thank you very much. Bye now.
That would be a